Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. To begin, could you briefly introduce yourself and share a bit about your professional background?
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm a business analyst with 5 years of experience helping organizations optimize processes, analyze data, and make strategic decisions. I specialize in workflow automation, financial modeling, and cross-functional collaboration to support business growth.
Thank you for that overview. What inspired you to pursue a career in business analysis?
I have always enjoyed understanding how things work and finding ways to improve them. During university, I realized I had a strong interest in solving operational challenges and using data to support decision making. That naturally guided me toward business analysis.
That makes sense. Could you walk me through your academic background and any training that prepared you for this field?
Certainly, I earned my bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in data analytics. I also completed certifications in SQL, Excel financial modeling, and Scrum methodology. These programs helped build my analytical, technical, and project management skills.
Excellent. Let's discuss your professional experience. Could you describe your current role and key responsibilities?
In my current position, I work closely with stakeholders to gather requirements, analyze business processes, and design solutions to increase efficiency. I build dashboards, conduct cost-benefit analyses, and coordinate with IT teams to implement new systems. I also support change management efforts and train staff on new tools.
Very interesting. What would you say is one of your most significant achievements so far?
One of my key accomplishments was leading an automation project that reduced manual reporting time by 50%. I developed automated dashboards and trained the finance team, resulting in faster insights and improved accuracy.
Impressive. Why are you interested in joining our company?
Your organization has a strong reputation for innovation and data-driven decision-making. I'm particularly excited about your digital transformation initiatives and commitment to professional development. I believe I can contribute to your growth while continuing to expand my skills in a collaborative environment.
Thank you. Let's talk about skills. What technical tools are you most comfortable with?
I am highly proficient in SQL, Excel, and Power BI. I also work with Python for data analysis and Jira for project tracking. Additionally, I have experience with CRM and ERP systems, including SAP.
Strong tool set. Could you describe a challenging problem you solved at work?
Sure. Our customer support team struggled with long response times due to inefficient ticket routing. I analyzed the data, identified bottlenecks, and proposed a priority-based routing system. After implementation, response times improved by 30% within the first 3 months.
Great example. Now let's discuss soft skills. How do you handle tight deadlines or stressful situations?
I prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance, create clear timelines, and maintain open communication with my team. If stress rises, I break the project into smaller steps and stay focused on one deliverable at a time.
Very good. How would you describe your communication style?
I emphasize clarity, structure, and active listening. When presenting data, I simplify complex insights so they are easy to understand for non-technical stakeholders.
Excellent approach. Can you share a time when you resolved a team conflict?
In a previous project, two teammates disagreed on reporting methods. I facilitated a discussion, helped define shared goals, and encouraged a hybrid solution that combined strengths of both approaches. This improved collaboration and produced a stronger final product.
Thank you. Next, a behavioral question. Can you tell me about a mistake you made and what you learned?
Early in my career, I underestimated the time needed for stakeholder reviews. This caused a delay in project delivery. I learned to schedule buffer time and set clearer review expectations from the start.
Very valuable lesson. How do you stay current with business technology trends?
I read industry reports, follow blogs, attend webinars, and participate in online data analysis communities. I also take new training courses each quarter to build my skills.
Fantastic. Before we conclude, what motivates you professionally?
I am motivated by improving business performance, helping teams succeed, and seeing measurable results from my work. I enjoy turning data into clear insights that support smart decisions.
Thank you for sharing. Finally, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do. Could you tell me more about the growth opportunities within your analytics team? And how do you support continuous learning for your employees?
Great questions. We offer structured career development plans, mentorship programs, and support for certification training. We believe in empowering our people to keep learning and advancing.
That sounds excellent. Thank you for the insight and for considering my application.
Thank you for your time today. We will be in touch soon. How do you prioritize multiple tasks when deadlines overlap?
I start by evaluating the urgency and impact of each task. I use a priority matrix to determine which deliverables are time-critical versus strategic. Then, I communicate timelines with stakeholders and adjust where possible to ensure quality isn't compromised.
That's a structured approach. How do you handle unexpected changes or last-minute requests?
I stay flexible and assess whether the change aligns with business priorities. If it does, I reorganize my schedule and delegate less critical tasks. I also make sure to keep everyone informed so there are no surprises.
Tell me about a time when you had to learn a new technology quickly.
During a recent project, I needed to integrate a cloud-based authentication service that was new to me. I dedicated extra hours after work to complete tutorials and reviewed sample code. Within a week, I implemented the solution successfully, which improved the system's security.
Impressive initiative. How do you ensure continuous professional development?
I set quarterly learning goals. For example, last quarter, I focused on mastering container orchestration tools. I also enroll in online courses and attend technical conferences to stay updated with industry trends.
Excellent. Let's shift to teamwork. Could you describe your approach to mentoring junior colleagues?
I believe mentorship should be practical and supportive. I pair with junior developers during code reviews and explain not just what needs to be changed, but why. This helps them build confidence and understand design principles.
That's a strong leadership mindset. What qualities do you think define a good leader in the tech field?
A good leader listens actively, provides clear direction, and empowers the team to make decisions. They balance technical expertise with empathy, creating an environment where people feel valued and motivated.
Good afternoon. I'm excited to learn more about you today. Could you start by telling me a bit about yourself?
Of course. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm a project manager with over 6 years of experience in the technology and consulting sectors. My work focuses on improving operational efficiency through process optimization and digital transformation initiatives.
That's great. What first drew you to project management as a career path?
I've always enjoyed coordinating people and resources to achieve common goals. Early in my career, I realized I had a talent for planning, risk assessment, and motivating teams under pressure. Project management allowed me to combine those skills in a structured way.
Interesting. Could you walk me through your professional journey so far?
Certainly. I started as a business analyst at a small consulting firm where I gathered requirements and supported software implementation. After 2 years, I transitioned into a project coordinator role, managing timelines and deliverables. For the past 3 years, I've been leading cross-functional teams on enterprise-level projects, focusing mainly on digital adoption and process automation.
Sounds impressive. What would you say is your most significant professional achievement to date?
One project that stands out was implementing a new customer relationship management system across 3 regional offices. It was completed 2 months ahead of schedule and resulted in a 25% improvement in customer response times. The success came from clear communication, realistic planning, and empowering each team member to take ownership.
Excellent. Let's talk a bit about your leadership style. How do you motivate your team during demanding projects?
I believe in setting a clear vision and making sure everyone understands how their work contributes to that vision. I also value open communication, encouraging team members to share ideas and voice concerns early. Recognition is important too. I make sure to celebrate milestones and highlight individual contributions.
That's a good approach. Can you tell me about a time when your team faced a major challenge and how you dealt with it?
Certainly. During one project, a vendor missed several key deadlines, threatening the overall schedule. I immediately called a meeting with stakeholders to reassess the timeline and reallocate resources. By adjusting the sequence of tasks and negotiating with the vendor, we were able to recover lost time and still deliver the project on schedule.
Very resourceful. How do you typically handle stress when deadlines are tight or priorities shift unexpectedly?
I try to stay calm and focus on solutions. I break large problems into smaller tasks and delegate effectively. Taking short breaks also helps me maintain mental clarity. Most importantly, I communicate changes to my team as soon as possible so we can adapt together.
That's a strong mindset. What tools or methodologies do you use to manage projects efficiently?
I primarily use Agile and Scrum methodologies for software-related projects. Tools like Jira, Trello, and Microsoft Teams help track progress and facilitate collaboration. For larger enterprise-scale projects, I combine agile sprints with traditional project governance to ensure both flexibility and accountability.
Great combination. How do you approach communication when managing stakeholders with different expectations?
I tailor my communication to the audience. For executives, I focus on strategic outcomes and measurable results. For technical teams, I emphasize task details, dependencies, and timelines. The key is transparency, keeping everyone informed without overwhelming them.
Excellent insight. Let's shift to your personal development. How do you stay current with new project management trends and technologies?
I regularly attend professional webinars and conferences hosted by PMI and other industry groups. I also read articles and case studies on digital transformation, automation, and leadership. Additionally, I mentor junior project managers. It's a great way to stay sharp and continuously learn from others' experiences.
That's commendable. Could you share an example of how you've handled feedback from a supervisor or client?
Certainly. A client once mentioned that my project updates were too detailed for their preference. I took that feedback positively and began providing concise summaries focused on business impact rather than technical details. As a result, communication became smoother and client satisfaction improved.
That's a great example of adaptability. How do you approach conflict resolution within a team?
When conflicts arise, I prefer addressing them early. I meet with each party separately to understand their perspectives, then facilitate a joint discussion to find common ground. My goal is always to focus on the problem, not the person, and to guide the conversation toward actionable solutions.
Sounds like a balanced approach. Now let's imagine you're starting a new project in our company. What steps would you take during the first few weeks?
I would begin by understanding the company culture, existing workflows, and project objectives. Next, I'd identify key stakeholders and schedule kickoff meetings to align expectations. Then, I'd define success metrics, establish communication channels, and ensure that everyone understands their roles and deliverables.
Very systematic. Let's discuss time management. How do you prioritize tasks when managing multiple projects simultaneously?
I use a matrix to categorize tasks based on urgency and impact. High impact, high urgency tasks take top priority, while others are scheduled accordingly. I also review priorities weekly and adjust as new information arises.
Excellent. What are your long-term career goals?
In the next few years, I aim to move into a senior leadership role where I can oversee multiple project teams and contribute to strategic decision-making. Long-term, I'd like to focus on digital transformation initiatives that drive meaningful change across organizations.
That's an ambitious plan. Let's imagine a client requests an unrealistic deadline. How would you handle that situation?
I would first analyze the request and outline the implications of the proposed timeline. Then I'd meet with the client to discuss the trade-offs, such as quality, cost, or scope. If needed, I'd propose a phased delivery to meet critical milestones without compromising overall quality.
Smart and professional. How do you ensure accountability within your team?
I establish clear goals, measurable KPIs, and transparent progress tracking. Each team member understands their deliverables and deadlines. I also conduct regular check-ins to provide feedback and address challenges before they escalate.
Let's talk about company culture. What kind of work environment helps you perform your best?
I thrive in collaborative, inclusive environments where open communication is encouraged. A culture that values innovation and continuous improvement keeps me motivated. I also appreciate workplaces that recognize effort and promote professional growth.
That aligns well with our values. Could you tell me about a time you introduced a new idea that improved a process?
Certainly. I once implemented a digital dashboard for project status updates, replacing manual weekly reports. This saved several hours per week and provided real-time visibility into progress for both management and clients.
Impressive. What are your strongest technical or analytical skills?
My strengths include data-driven decision-making, workflow mapping, and financial forecasting for project budgets. I'm also proficient with Microsoft Project, Power BI, and Tableau for reporting and visualization.
Very good. Let's discuss collaboration. How do you encourage teamwork among members who have different working styles?
I focus on creating shared goals and clarifying roles early in the project. I also adapt my communication approach depending on each team member's preferences. Some prefer detailed emails, others short stand-up meetings. Flexibility helps maintain harmony and productivity.
That's practical advice. If you were to join our company, what would be your approach during your first 90 days?
I would focus on understanding the company's strategic priorities, building relationships with key stakeholders, and identifying areas for quick wins. Then I'd develop a roadmap aligned with company goals and present it to management for feedback.
Excellent. Before we wrap up, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, thank you. Could you tell me more about the company's current priorities in digital transformation and how project managers contribute to that vision?
Great question. Our focus is on automating processes, improving customer experience, and expanding data-driven decision-making. Project managers play a crucial role in aligning technical execution with business outcomes.
That sounds like an exciting environment. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss my background and learn more about your organization.
Thank you for your time today. We'll be in touch soon regarding the next steps in the process. Have a great day.
You too. I look forward to hearing from you.
Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you taking the time to join this project status meeting. How are things going on your end?
Good morning. Things are progressing steadily, though we've encountered a few challenges with the recent sprint tasks. Overall, the team is keeping up well.
That's good to hear. Could you start by giving me a quick summary of what's been completed since our last check-in?
Absolutely. Since our previous meeting, we finalized the UI updates for the dashboard. completed back-end integration for user authentication, and resolved around 80% of the reported bugs.
Excellent progress. How about the remaining 20% of those bugs? Are they high priority?
Most of them are minor, small UI inconsistencies and optimization issues. However, one involves data synchronization between servers, which requires additional testing.
Understood. Let's make sure we allocate enough time for that testing phase. What about the new reporting feature? Is it still on track for release next week?
We're slightly behind schedule there. The team had to refactor some API calls to improve performance, but we expect to recover the delay by mid-next week.
I see. Please make sure to update the timeline in the project tracker. I'd like transparency so all stakeholders are aware of any adjustments.
Of course. I'll update the tracker today and flag any tasks that need extra attention.
Great. How's the team morale? I know the past few weeks have been intense.
Honestly, the workload has been heavy, but motivation remains strong. We've started doing short daily stand-ups to keep communication open and identify blockers early.
That's an excellent approach. Regular updates help avoid last-minute surprises. Has the cross-department collaboration improved?
Yes, slightly. The design team has been more responsive lately, and the QA department is aligning their test plans with our development schedule.
Good to know. I'd like to ensure we maintain that coordination, especially as we move into the deployment phase.
Definitely. We've also created a shared checklist for release preparation, so all departments know their deliverables.
Excellent initiative. Could you walk me through the main items on that checklist?
Sure. The checklist includes code freeze verification, server health checks, QA approval, and communication templates for notifying users about the update.
Perfect. That should help streamline the process. Are there any potential risks you foresee in the upcoming sprint?
The only major concern is dependency on the external API provider. They're rolling out an update next week that could affect our data endpoints.
That's important to flag. Let's schedule a call with their technical team to clarify any expected changes. I'd rather address it proactively.
Agreed. I'll arrange that meeting and share the notes afterward.
Perfect. Let's also talk about client feedback. Have we received any new comments from the pilot group?
Yes. The clients appreciate the improved dashboard design, but they requested more customizable data filters. We're planning to include that in the next sprint.
Good feedback. Let's ensure we document those requests properly in the backlog. Client-driven features should remain a top priority.
I'll make sure of that. We've already started gathering specific use cases from the pilot testers.
Excellent. How's the budget tracking so far?
We are within the allocated budget. The only extra cost came from upgrading our testing environment, but it was essential for accuracy.
That's acceptable. Quality assurance is worth the investment. Please keep a record of those expenses for our next financial review.
Will do.
Before we wrap up, I'd like to touch on next week's objectives. Could you outline what the team's top 3 priorities will be?
Sure. First, complete the remaining bug fixes. Second, finalize the reporting feature and move it to QA. Third, prepare deployment documentation for internal review.
Excellent priorities. Let's make sure progress updates are visible in the dashboard daily. It helps everyone stay aligned.
Absolutely. I'll remind the team to keep their updates current.
Great. Do you have any support requests or resources you need from management?
Actually, yes. We could use one additional QA engineer temporarily for regression testing during release week.
Noted. I'll check resource availability and see if we can reassign someone from another project.
That would be very helpful.
Fantastic. Before closing, I want to thank you and the team for maintaining quality under pressure. Keep the momentum going.
Thank you. I'll pass that on to the team. They'll appreciate hearing it.
Great. Let's reconvene same time next week for another progress update.
Sounds good. Have a productive week ahead.
You too. Talk soon. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. To start, could you please introduce yourself and give us a brief overview of your background?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Sarah, and I am a marketing specialist with 4 years of experience in digital campaigns, content strategy, and brand development. I've worked across multiple industries, helping companies increase online visibility and drive customer engagement through data-driven marketing efforts.
Thank you, Sarah. What initially drew you to a career in marketing?
I've always been fascinated by consumer behavior and how brands connect emotionally with their audience. During university, I became particularly interested in digital marketing and social media strategy, which motivated me to pursue this career path.
That sounds great. Could you walk me through your education and relevant certifications?
Certainly. I have a bachelor's degree in business with a concentration in marketing. In addition, I completed certifications in Google Analytics, HubSpot inbound marketing, and social media strategy. I've also taken several courses in SEO and content planning.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about your professional experience. Can you describe your current role and main responsibilities?
In my current role, I manage social media channels, develop content calendars, and track campaign performance. I also collaborate with designers, coordinate influencer partnerships, and conduct competitor research to support strategic planning.
Sounds like a diverse role. Could you share one campaign you are particularly proud of?
Absolutely. I led a product launch campaign that included video ads, user-generated content, and email marketing. The campaign increased product signups by 35% and significantly boosted website traffic over a 6-week period.
That's impressive. Why are you interested in joining our company?
Your company has an outstanding reputation for innovation and creativity. I admire your focus on sustainability and customer-centric branding. I believe this environment will allow me to contribute meaningfully while continuing to develop my skills.
Great. Which marketing tools and platforms are you most familiar with?
I work daily with Google Analytics, Meta Business Suite, and Canva. I'm also comfortable using marketing automation tools like HubSpot and MailChimp. In addition, I have basic experience with Adobe Creative Cloud.
Thank you. Can you describe a situation where you solved a challenging problem at work?
Certainly. We noticed declining engagement across our social platforms. I analyzed audience data, identified posting time issues, and recommended content that aligned better with user interests. After implementing the changes, engagement increased steadily for 3 consecutive months.
Well done. How do you handle stressful deadlines or multiple campaigns at the same time?
I prioritize tasks based on urgency and impact. I break large projects into smaller steps and set daily goals. I also communicate proactively with team members to ensure alignment.
Very professional approach. Can you tell me about a time you worked in a team setting?
Of course, during a rebranding project, I worked closely with designers, product managers, and copywriters. I facilitated weekly check-ins and ensured all messaging aligned with the new brand identity. The rebranding was highly successful and received positive feedback from customers.
Great example. How do you respond to constructive feedback?
I welcome feedback because it helps me grow. I listen carefully, ask clarifying questions if needed, and apply the suggestions to future work.
Excellent. Could you share a mistake you learned from early in your career?
Certainly. In my first job, I launched a campaign without thoroughly testing all tracking links. We missed some performance data which affected reporting. Since then, I always perform quality checks before launching campaigns.
A valuable lesson. Before we finish, what motivates you in your work?
I'm motivated by creativity, innovation, and seeing measurable results. It's rewarding to watch ideas turn into successful campaigns and positive customer experiences.
Thank you for sharing. Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do. Could you tell me more about your content strategy plans for the upcoming year? And how does your team collaborate across departments?
Great questions. We focus on value-driven content and strong cross-team collaboration. We will share more details if you move forward to the next stage.
Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you as well. We look forward to following up soon.
Good morning. Thank you for coming in today. I'm looking forward to discussing how our companies might collaborate on this new project.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. We're very interested in exploring a partnership that benefits both sides. I've reviewed your proposal and have a few points I'd love to discuss in more detail.
Excellent. Why don't we start with your overall impression of our proposal?
Overall, I think it's well structured and demonstrates a strong understanding of the market. I particularly like your focus on customer experience and scalability. However, I think there's room to refine the pricing model and the implementation timeline.
I appreciate that feedback. Could you elaborate on what adjustments you'd suggest for the pricing model?
Certainly, the fixed monthly fee is predictable, but for long-term sustainability, we'd prefer a hybrid model, combining a base rate with performance-based incentives. This would align both teams toward achieving measurable outcomes.
That's an interesting idea. Performance-based models do encourage accountability. Could you specify which metrics you'd propose tying to performance?
We could use client retention rate, conversion rate, or average response time as core indicators. These are measurable and reflect the quality of service delivery.
Those are sensible metrics. I'll take that into consideration. Now, you mentioned the timeline earlier. What concerns do you have there?
The proposed 3-month implementation period seems tight given the integration work involved. We estimate it might realistically take 4 to 5 months to ensure system compatibility and proper staff training.
Understood. We wanted to be ambitious, but we also don't want to compromise quality. How about we agree on a phased rollout, 3 months for the core system and 2 additional months for full integration?
That sounds reasonable. It allows us to manage risks effectively while maintaining momentum. I think both sides would find that timeline manageable.
Excellent. Let's talk about responsibilities. How do you see the division of roles between our teams?
I propose a joint project team. Your side could handle platform development and technical support, while our team focuses on marketing strategy, client onboarding, and customer engagement. That division plays to each company's strengths.
Agreed. Collaboration is key. I'd also like to establish a regular reporting structure, perhaps bi-weekly progress meetings and monthly performance reviews.
I like that. Regular check-ins help maintain transparency and prevent misunderstandings. We could also share a live dashboard to track progress in real time.
Perfect. Transparent. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining our mid-quarter project review. I'd like to go over progress, key blockers, and next steps. How are things been this week?
Good afternoon. It's been a busy week, but overall, we're moving forward as planned.
The new workflow automation module is about 60% complete.
That's encouraging. Could you elaborate on what's been completed so far?
Sure. The design phase is done, and development for the back-end services is nearly finished. The front-end integration is scheduled to begin early next week.
Excellent. Have you encountered any challenges during implementation?
Yes, one. We had some issues with API compatibility between our old system and the new microservice framework. The engineering team is currently testing a patch to resolve it.
Understood. Please make sure the QA team is involved early so we can prevent any late-stage surprises.
Absolutely. We've already looped them in to start writing automated test cases in parallel.
Great coordination. How's the collaboration with the design team going? I remember there were delays last month.
It's much better now. We've introduced a shared Figma board, and weekly sync calls have reduced miscommunication. The designers are delivering assets faster.
I'm glad to hear that. Let's make sure that consistency continues. Communication is key when teams are working remotely.
Exactly. We've also set up Slack channels dedicated to feature discussions, which keeps everything transparent.
Smart move. Let's talk about the sprint goals. Are we still on target to deliver the workflow module by the end of the quarter?
Yes, though it'll be tight. We lost a few days due to the API issue, but if testing goes smoothly, we'll still make it.
I appreciate the honesty. Let's build a 2-day buffer into the timeline, just in case any unexpected bugs appear.
That's a good idea. I'll adjust the sprint schedule and share the updated version with the team.
Perfect. Now, moving on, have we received any feedback from our pilot users?
We have. Most users are satisfied with the new dashboard layout. However, a few suggested adding an export to PDF option for reports.
That's valuable feedback. Let's log that as a feature request and discuss feasibility in the next planning session.
Will do. I've already assigned it a medium priority tag in the backlog.
Excellent. Now, what about performance metrics? Have we noticed any significant improvements since the last release?
Yes, definitely. Page load times have decreased by around 25%, and server response has become more stable. Users have also reported fewer session timeouts.
Impressive. Those numbers really reflect the team's hard work. Please share that data in tomorrow's executive summary. Leadership will appreciate those insights.
Absolutely. I'll prepare a short report with visual charts.
Great. Now, let's shift to resources. Are there any gaps or additional support you need?
We could use temporary help from the DevOps team during the deployment phase. Some configuration scripts need to be optimized for scalability.
Noted. I'll coordinate with the DevOps manager to allocate a resource next week.
Thank you. That would speed things up significantly.
No problem. How about documentation? Are we on track there?
Yes, documentation is about 70% done. We've been updating it simultaneously with development to avoid last-minute pressure.
Excellent approach. Keeping documentation up to date saves a lot of trouble later.
Exactly. It also helps new team members onboard more quickly.
That's a great point. Speaking of new members, how's the onboarding of the new developer going?
Quite well. She's proactive and already contributing to minor bug fixes. Her background in cloud services has been especially useful.
That's fantastic. Please make sure she has full access to all internal documentation and repositories.
Already taken care of. I also paired her with a mentor from the back-end team for her first month.
Excellent leadership. That kind of mentorship really boosts retention and team morale.
I agree. It also improves code consistency across the team.
Let's review key priorities for next week. What's top of the list?
First, completing integration testing. Second, addressing the API patch. And third, preparing the release notes draft for stakeholder review.
That's a clear plan. Please circulate a summary after this meeting so everyone's aligned.
Will do. I'll include deadlines and responsible team members in the document.
Perfect. One last question. How's overall team morale right now? Any signs of burnout we should address?
A few members mentioned feeling stretched thin, especially during testing phases. I'm planning to rotate workloads and give them shorter task cycles.
That's a wise approach. Keeping morale high directly impacts productivity. If needed, we can consider adding short focus breaks during sprint days.
I like that idea. I'll experiment with it and share feedback next week.
Sounds good. Before we wrap up, I just want to say I really appreciate how smoothly communication has been going lately. It makes all the difference.
Thank you. The clarity in leadership and regular check-ins have definitely helped the team stay on track.
Great to hear. Let's continue that momentum. We'll meet again same time next Thursday for the next review.
Perfect. I'll have the updated metrics and sprint summary ready.
Excellent. Thanks again for your hard work and collaboration. Talk soon.
Thank you. Have a productive rest of your day.